Ladies and gentlemen, the individual that you see on my screen has done something that is extremely crazy and just flat out wrong as far as you can even name that. But I got to give you guys a disclaimer before I talk about this story because it does have some details in it. But you might find this content controversial and offensive. The information comes from multiple sources, including the courts, police, and news articles. The video commentary will also give my opinion about the facts of this story. I'm using this as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like this. Viewer discretion is advised, and that is your official disclaimer. I hate that I have to keep doing that. But this story comes out of Chicago, and Chicago takes yet another L. I could literally spend my entire channel just talking about Chicago news. Man, so much crazy stuff. But a father in the Chicago suburbs is behind bars for allegedly drowning. Drowning his 3 children and leading police on a high-speed chase before crashing, law enforcement authorities say. And this story is coming from lawandcrime.com, so I want to say thank you for the article. They do a really, really good job, but that's where I'm getting the article from. Oh, man. I don't really know what you say. This man looked like he is just had it with life. Jason E. Carroll's, he's 35 years old, and he was taken into custody on Tuesday and is now facing 3 counts of first-degree murder of his own kids. And y'all look at these beautiful angels out over here. And man, there's just no excuse for how hard life is, no matter what the mom puts you through, what life gives you. It just doesn't matter, and there can never be an excuse. And you should never have that much rage inside of you, men or women, to do something like this to your kids. And unfortunately, we've seen men do this. We've seen a lot of mothers do this. But in this case, we're talking about this father. So, according to Round Lake Beach Police Chief Gilbert Rivera, officers on Monday responded to a call requesting a wellness check at the residence located on the 200 block of Camden Lane. The caller was a mother who was supposed to pick up her 3 children from home of her estranged husband. And I hate to be cliche and say that he looks crazy, but he does look crazy. He looks like one way in the pictures with his kids and his wife, like right there. Then you turn around and then you look at this picture right here, and he just looks like a melted lollipop in the face. Like, I don't know, man, just a funny looking dude. But the caller was a mother who was supposed to pick up her kids from her estranged husband. Upon arriving at the scene, first responders discovered all 3 children, who were ages 5 years old, 3 years old, and 2 years old, deceased inside of the home. Police quickly identified the children's father as Carroll's as a person of interest. Officers immediately disseminated information about Carroll's vehicle, which was a 2010 red Nissan Maxima, through the Illinois State Police Emergency Network. Police officers located him driving the vehicle on Interstate 57 and 115th Street and attempted to perform a traffic stop. Police say that Carroll's then led officers on a high-speed chase, so he ran. The pursuit spanned across multiple highways and involved several police departments, lasting approximately 17 minutes. That is a long amount of time. The chase came to an end where Carroll's crashed the vehicle in a densely wooded area off Interstate 80. As authorities extracted Carroll's from the vehicle, he allegedly made incriminating statements indicating that he was responsible for the deaths of the children at the Round Lake Beach home, according to Chief Rivera. Carroll's also allegedly said that he attempted to commit suicide multiple times after killing the children, but he claimed he was unsuccessful. And I always find that weird. I've done a number of different stories. Where these people allegedly tried to commit suicide, but they failed to do it. But they didn't fail to kill their children, though. I don't know how you do that. Chief Rivera said that Carroll's alleged confession was caught on multiple body cameras worn by police at the scene. Police do not disclose if they were aware of how Carroll's may have attempted to take his own life, but noted that there was a lot of blood at the home, and none of that was from any of the three children. Carroll's was hospitalized due to injuries sustained in the crash, but has since been released into police custody. As police were searching for Carroll's, police began investigating the circumstances of the children's death, with assistance from the Lake County Coroner's Office and evidence technicians from the Lake County Major Crimes Task Force. I'm sorry, I cannot talk today. According to Chief Deputy with the Lake County Coroner's Office, Steve Newton, autopsies were conducted on the three victims, identified as 5-year-old Bryant Carroll's. Kids you see right there, the biggest one is the oldest. So that's Brian Carroll's on the left. 3-year-old Cassidy Carroll's, who I'm assuming is in the middle. Let me go back to that picture. And 2-year-old Gideon Carroll's. Maybe I got that wrong. Cassidy and Gideon. So maybe let's move on. But that's their names. The preliminary cause of death of all three children is consistent with drowning. Due to the ongoing nature of the investigation, police declined to specify where Carroll's allegedly drowned the children. Where do y'all think he drowned them at? If I had to take a wild guess, if I didn't know anything about this story, I would have to assume that it was probably a bathtub. If not, the family pool. But I don't know if that place has a pool or not. But this sounds like another bathtub story. According to Rivera, the children's mother was the person who found their bodies and placed the initial 911 call. He said the mother and Carroll's were estranged and the two may have shared custody of their children. I don't know that anything could have stopped this or if there was any early indications of it, Chief Rivera said. As I mentioned, we were not familiar with this family nor familiar with the house. Let's keep going. The dad, Carroll's, is currently scheduled to appear before a judge for a bond hearing on Wednesday morning. And a GoFundMe, which I'm going to talk about there in a moment, was set up by Lake County board member Dick Barr to help raise money for the grieving mother and has already garnered more than $50,000 in donations. Let me pull that GoFundMe up because I know I'm about to offend some people. Let me get this up on the screen. I want to just see, because maybe I'm not making this big enough. It's as big as I can make it on the screen. If you guys can see at the top right corner how much this individual by the name of Dick Barr and Christina Newman, how much they put this GoFundMe up for. Can y'all see how much they're asking for the GoFundMe? If not, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. I'm just saying I don't know, man. I just have some thoughts, some uncomfortable thoughts about this GoFundMe. Can y'all see that now? There it is. It's a little bit bigger. Right there. Lake County board member Dick Barr put up this GoFundMe in conjunction with the mother to help raise money. Oh my goodness. I'm just curious about something. Let me see if I can find something real quick. I don't know if I can find this. I'm going to look something up real quick. I'm going to see if I can find something. I'm wondering if the individual by the name of Dick Barr, Lake County board member, I wonder if he's married. I can't seem to find a lot of information on him. Do y'all know if he has a wife? Just curious. I'm doing this live, so y'all bear with me. I know I might be a little insensitive here by what I'm about to say. I'm just curious if the man is married. I have no idea. He could very well be happily married, but I don't know. I have no idea. But I will say this. Number one, I think it's a little bit odd that you have a person who, I don't know what a board member is. Is that something that has to do with government or lawmaking or some type of organization? Raising that kind of money off of a tragedy, a situation like this, when it's a criminal case, I want you guys to remember that the state usually will cover the burial cost. Right or wrong? First and foremost. Number two, why $100,000? Let's just do the math. Most people say for a burial cost of an individual, keep in mind these are small children, let's just say $10,000. So you say he's a politician? Okay. Well, I didn't know that. Let's just say that burial cost for each child is $10,000. That'd be about $30,000, right? What would you need simply for a burial another $70,000 for? Am I wrong for asking that question? I'm just asking a question. If you guys are looking at my screen, it is impossible to mistake the amount that I said that he's asking for. I can actually say he's asking for because his name is on it. Right there. As big as day. I have made this extremely huge on my screen. They have currently raised $56,000. But asking for $100,000. Why do I bring all of this up? Why does DJ Just Jay bring all of this up? Because, number one, he said his estranged wife. Were they legally divorced? It don't sound like it. It's two things that people usually get divorced over. What are those two things? Anybody want to name it? I could even give you three. Number one, which is a very vague excuse, irreconcilable differences, which doesn't mean anything. We just don't want to say what the real problem is. Number two, one of the biggest reasons people get a divorce, finances. Finances. Number three, infidelity. What would enrage a father like this, to this extent, to make him not murder the mom? I'm not saying he should have murdered the mom. I'm saying he shouldn't have murdered anybody. He shouldn't have done this at all. What he did was just flat out wrong, period, and it will be punished. Flat out. What would drive a man? What would drive a father? What would drive a husband to the extent, if he has any type of common sense, to murder his beautiful little babies? What? Was he cheated on? We don't know. Were they having financial issues? We don't know. But I'm just going to throw it out there, and I'm going to say that I think I found a picture of Lake County Board member Dick Barr. He's not a bad looking guy. Dick Barr is not a bad looking guy. Hence the name Dick. Thought I'd throw that out there. He's not a bad looking guy. He looked like he's in his middle 50s, his mid 50s. Mom looked like she's early 40s. Relatively good looking mother, right? I wouldn't put anything past them, right? I don't put infidelity past anybody. I don't put people doing wild things for money past anybody. But I'm just going to throw it out there and just say that $100,000 is a lot of freaking money for a GoFundMe when most funeral costs when murdered children or victims in a crime are covered by the state. And the average funeral costs, even if you were paying out of pocket, are covered. Usually about $10,000 per deceased individual. I just have no words, man. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Now, I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of y'all out there who have been supporting me for a long time, that have been watching my channel for a long time, and you're probably scratching your head right now. Why is DJ bringing all of this up? I'm way out in left field. I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm going off the deep end. But what I'm just saying, when I smell something that smells bad, there's usually something there. When I see red flags and yellow flags, it's usually something there. Okay? Now, if the father would come out and speak and give his whole story, maybe they can go down there just like they did with Cola Beal. They want to hear how he murdered all of those individuals. Oh, he's crazy, and I can't believe that he admitted all of that in court. Well, maybe they can go down there and go get one of those good old TV interviews with this man. I'd love to hear why he decided to murder his 3 beautiful, innocent children that did not deserve that. What was the reason? I would love for him to candidly speak about that. He's going to be held accountable for it no matter what. You might as well give us the reason.
Good morning, Larry and Lauren. Yes, 35-year-old Jason Carroll is expected in bond court here in Lake County Courthouse today. The father is accused of killing 3 of his young children, ages 5, 3, and 2 years old. Those bodies were discovered on Monday by police, and we're told that he is facing 3 charges of first-degree murder. And the first person to walk into the home on Monday was the mother of those 3 children, who came to Carroll's home to pick up the kids for a doctor's appointment. When she arrived, she found her children deceased inside and called police, who came for a well-being check. When officers arrived at the home, they began the investigation into the children's death and quickly identified Carroll's as a person of interest. They sent out an alert for his vehicle to Illinois State Police, and shortly after, Carroll's car was spotted and officers attempted to stop him, leading on a high-speed chase. Carroll's crashed his vehicle, and when officers pulled him out of the car, they say he admitted to killing his kids and say he also attempted to take his own life but was unsuccessful.
While being extricated after the crash, Carroll's made statements to police officers involved in the chase and wearing body-worn cameras, indicating he was responsible for the death of the children at the Round Lake Beach home.
The preliminary cause of death for all 3 children, according to the coroner's office, was drowning. And of course, we're expecting to learn more about that in the coming weeks. We are also expecting the possibility of further charges in this case as this investigation is ongoing. Reporting at Lake County Courthouse, Alyssa Donovan, WGN News.
An estranged father is charged with drowning his 3 children in Round Lake Beach.
Police say that he admitted to killing them yesterday after leading police on a high-speed chase. CBS 2 Sharday Gray live for us outside of that home where those children were found. Sharday, you've talked to neighbors. No doubt they are heartbroken.
Yeah, absolutely, Jim and Marie. And neighbors say that this family, they stayed to themselves. They didn't really engage with any other people around the neighborhood. But they did say that they saw the kids walking to and from the school bus drop-off area. Now, one neighbor did tell us that he just saw the kids playing in the backyard this past weekend.
Our prayers and our hearts, and I apologize because I did go announcement. I did speak with the mother, and again, all I can say is that we really support her, and we are going to do our best job for her.
Round Lake Beach police confirmed that 5-year-old Bryant, 3-year-old Cassidy, and 2-year-old Gideon were found dead inside the home. Police say the children were visiting their father, Jason Carls, who was estranged from his wife. Their mother was supposed to pick them up and ask police to perform a well-being check. The Lake County Coroner's Office says the cause of death was drowning. Carl led police on a high-speed chase for 17 minutes. He crashed in a wooded area along Interstate 80 near the Des Plaines River in Joliet. Carl's admitted to police he drowned his kids and made multiple suicide attempts, but failed.
I don't know that anything could have stopped this, or if there were any early indications of it. As I mentioned, we were not familiar with this family nor with the house, but I can tell you that we were all deeply affected.
Now, Carls has been taken to the hospital and has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. Round Lake Beach police say that he could face additional charges, and he is expected to appear in Lake County Court after he is released from the hospital. Reporting live in Round Lake Beach, Sade Gray, CBS 2 News.
Triple homicide in Round Lake Beach. A 35-year-old father now charged with killing his 3 young children.
WGN's Rob Sneed is in Round Lake Beach with more on this tragic story.
Today, authorities tell us that a mother found her 3 small children inside of that home. The details so disturbing, the police chief found it hard to hold back tears. Today, authorities tell us the father of those children is accused of killing them.
It's unknown what is the actual appropriate response, right, when something like this happens. Our prayers and our hearts, and
an emotional message to the mother of 3 children found dead in a home in the 200 block of Camden Lane. Round Lake Beach Police Chief Gilbert Rivera says the mother of those children made that horrific discovery in a room inside of that home Monday afternoon.
The kids were actually visiting with him at the time, and the mother was coming to pick them up to take them to a doctor's visit.
Authorities now releasing those names and ages. Brian Carroll's 5 years old, Cassidy Carroll's 3 years old, and Gideon Carroll's just 2 years old. Investigators say the children's father, Jason Carroll's, drowned them, and they now say the 35-year-old is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder.
While the investigation into the deceased children was being conducted, Illinois State Police spotted, then attempted to stop the suspicious 2010 Nissan on Interstate 57 and 115th Street in Cook County. That was identified to be the vehicle missing from the Round Lake Beach homicide investigation.
Authorities say the 17-minute high-speed chase led officers across multiple highways.
That came to an end when the vehicle crashed into an extremely wooded area near Interstate 80 at Water Street in Joliet.
Authorities took Carroll's into custody, and they say he says he was responsible for his children's deaths. And authorities say Carroll's attempted suicide several times. Reporting at the Round Lake Beach Police Department, Rob Sneed, WGN News.
Tonight, we are learning devastating new details about a triple homicide in the northern suburbs. A father is charged with killing his 3 young children. He admitted to drowning his kids before leading police on a high-speed chase yesterday. CBS 2's Sade Gray talked to neighbors in Round Lake Beach about the tragedy.
Neighbors say this is a quiet area and never imagined this happening in their neighborhood. They say the family kept to themselves, but they did notice the kids walking to and from the school bus. Do know police say they were called to this home Monday afternoon for a well-being check by a mother who was supposed to pick up her kids from her estranged husband. When they arrived, they found the 3 children dead. Here is a picture of the victims: 5-year-old Bryant, the 3-year-old Cassidy, and 2-year-old Gideon. The suspect, Jason Carls, was later arrested after leading police on a high-speed chase and crashing. He's in the hospital right now, but he has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. Police say he admitted he killed his children and says he tried to kill himself. A mother and two daughters who used to live in the neighborhood dropped off a teddy bear outside of the house after hearing about what happened in her former neighborhood.
It's a shame to hear such a tragic situation that occurred here. It's very sad.
Police would not say if Carls gave a motive for killing his children. Investigators say they don't believe he has a criminal history. Reporting in Round.
All right, I'm going to try to fix the audio issues here in just a little bit, but nonetheless, let me give you guys my closing thoughts about this story. First and foremost, when it comes to that politician, no, I don't think he's cheating on his wife. I just think it looks really odd, the fact that he's putting his name on this GoFundMe. I just really don't think that that's a good idea for a politician and GoFundMes and dead kids to go together. Like, I don't know. I could be wrong about that. Anybody can do a GoFundMe. I'm not saying it's illegal. I just think that maybe morally it might show a conflict of interest. Okay. But a lot of politicians do rely off of donations that they raise in order to fund the things that they're trying to do or fund whatever it is that they need funded, maybe even fund themselves. I just think that that's an extraordinary amount of money to ask for 100,000 and people have already helped you get halfway there at 55,000. That's impressive in itself. I think that children deserve the world. But here's my whole thing. You're talking about putting that into a burial. How can you qualify that? When you're talking about a burial, you sit there and say that these children, they deserve that. Here's what I think they deserved. I think they deserved a happy life here on earth. Once these children are deceased, burying them at that point with an extravagant burial doesn't matter as much as giving these children a great life while they're alive. And if we're not going to put up $100,000 GoFundMes for living children, why the hell will we do it for dead ones? Did y'all catch my drift? Does everybody understand why I have a problem with how we're going about the GoFundMe? We are willing, and I'll say this slow for people who want to, because they are always in my comment section. The difference with the GoFundMe is I'm not mad at people for asking for GoFundMe if they flat out don't have the money. I don't mind that. What I have a problem with is that we show more respect to dead people, to dead children, and show no respect for living children. We don't show that same level of protection for living children. We don't make that type of investment for living children, and our hearts are not in that type of place for living children. You understand the difference? This doesn't go out to my audience. This goes out to the detractors that continue to come to my page and try to argue with me about my points about this stuff. It's only a few people here and there, but I get sick of seeing it. These armchair revolutionaries that want to get mad about what we're speaking on when we're actually making a difference in real people's lives, get mad about how I'm going about doing it, and get mad about how I'm calling out things that I see that are wrong. Yes, I think it's wrong to raise that kind of money in hopes of a $100,000 burial. Thank you. A college fund, not a burial fund. That's a problem. $100,000 for what? So mom can take the money that's left over and wipe away her tears with it? That's not going to fix anything. It's not going to bring the kids back. But I think that we should have been, here's where I want y'all to catch me. I think that we should be thinking before we even get to this point. We should be thinking about our love. We should be thinking about our marriage. We should be thinking about our children. We should know our mate well enough by this point, how volatile they are, if they have mental issues, or maybe take that type of time to figure out if this person is maybe volatile to this point before we get to this point, before we get married, before we start cohabitating, before we start having children. We worry more about the end result than we do what led up to this. Everybody catch that? We can't worry more about the end result because that's never going to get us anywhere. We have to worry about what led up to this and change those actions, change those behaviors, change that mindset. Something made this man snap. Whatever that was is not only wrong, it will be punished. But I think that we should have thought more about these children way before we got to this point. If you don't understand my stance on GoFundMe, I think it should be put into living children rather than dead children. Then I just don't think that those people are ever going to understand my point. I believe, let me get their picture back up here on the screen. For those who do understand, will get it. See if I can refresh this real quick. There we go. Right here. And I look at these babies and I look at them ages 5, 3, and 2 years old. I think that these angels deserved an opportunity to grow up and become something great. And I think that the mother and father owed it to them to try to deliver that to the fullest to their abilities. And I think that they both play a part in it getting to this point. And I just hope that mothers and fathers will love what they create and really trust their vows, because I do take marriage, pretty seriously. I support married couples, but I really wish that they would take their vows more seriously when the times do get bad, and you stick in there and you hold it out and you try to fix it. You get your counseling, you get some help, but definitely you shouldn't do this to your children, man. To those young, beautiful souls, R.I.P. to them. To the dad, he deserves whatever the law gives him, which is probably going to be the ultimate penalty under the law. Absolutely terrible choice, and he deserves everything that he's going to get in court. Okay? Thank you guys so much. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you.